Hitler had a close association with Mussolini, so much so that Hitler considered Mussolini as his mentor. Mussolini's rise to power in Italy had inspired Hitler. Hitler wrote fan mails to Mussolini. When Hitler came to power, Mussolini dismissed Hitler as a clown. However, when Mussolini visited Germany, he came to know the Nazi government's real potential after the rearmament began. Mussolini's Italian army raced defeat in Greece, North Africa during World War II, and Hitler ordered German forces to help Italy. But the turn of tables pushed Mussolini out of power. Mussolini will now be freed by his fanboy Hitler again. The daring mission. Furious and fearful of the implications of a potential alliance between the Allies and what he presumed would now be a hostile Italy, Hitler decided the only course of action was to annex former Italian territory and overseas possessions and rescue his fellow dictator from captivity. The Italians had a suspicion that Hitler might mount a rescue attempt, so Mussolini had been moved around continuously since his arrest to throw the Germans off the scent. However, Hitler had anticipated this tactic, and so he sent Hauptsturmführer Otto Skorzenny to Italy to track the dictator down and mount a rescue attempt. The rescue of Benito Mussolini would be code-named Operation Each. Skorzenny had seen action during the invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941 and, after being hit in the back of the head by shrapnel in 1942, receiving an Iron Cross for his troubles, he had then been assigned a staff job in Berlin where he began to develop techniques for unconventional commando warfare. It didn't take Skorzenny long to track the deposed dictator down. Intercepted radio transmissions revealed Mussolini was being held under armed guard in the Hotel Campo, a ski resort high in the Apennine Mountains in the Gran Sasso region of southern Italy. Now the problem was how to get him out. Aerial reconnaissance photographs revealed that the hotel's location on top of a mountain ruled out a parachute assault. However, the photos revealed a small patch of land adjacent to the hotel that Skorzenny determined was perfect for landing a squadron of gliders. On the morning of the 12th of September 1943, Skorzenny and a crack team of SS commandos and Fallschirmjäger paratroopers boarded 10 DFS-230 gliders and set off from a small airstrip near Rome for the hotel. As they approached the landing site, Skorzenny realized that the patch of ground earmarked for landing was, in fact, a steep, rocky slope and not the flat piece of ground the aerial photographs had suggested it was. The gliders had no choice but to crash land on the slope, causing injury to some of the troops in one of the gliders. Meanwhile, in the valley below, 2 paratroop units led by Operation Each Commander-in-Chief Major Harold Moores captured the funicular railway that usually carried tourists up to the hotel. Moores ordered all telephone lines to be severed, cutting off communication with the outside world. Once on land, Skorzenny and his shock troops stormed the hotel. The hotel and its one guest was heavily guarded by 200 members of the Carabinieri, but Skorzenny had a plan that he hoped would make them surrender. He had brought with him the Italian general, Fernando Soltai. As the troops burst through the doors of the hotel, Soltai shouted for the guards not to shoot. Confused, the Carabinieri laid down their arms and surrendered. After smashing the guards' radio so nobody would be tempted to call for backup, Skorzenny dashed upstairs and began searching the rooms for Mussolini. When he finally found him, he cried, "Duce, the Führer has sent me. You're free." Mussolini was overcome with emotion. "I knew my friend Adolf wouldn't desert me," he told Skorzenny. By now, Major Moores had made his way up the mountain and entered the hotel. He greeted Mussolini and introduced himself. The grinning Italian dictator posed for photographs while Skorzenny radioed for a Ficella Fi-156 short takeoff and landing plane to come and pick the dictator up. The plane made the tricky landing on the strip of rocky ground, and the Italian leader was escorted to it after waving a tearful goodbye to his rescuers. The plane was designed to carry 2 passengers, but Skorzenny insisted on escorting the dictator, making the plane dangerously overloaded. Why would Skorzenny risk the mission at this late stage? Overloading the plane would make it harder to take off. The answer was simple. If anything happened to Mussolini on his way out of Italy, Skorzenny would be held personally responsible. Not known for his forgiving nature, Hitler would have undoubtedly demanded Skorzenny fall on his sword should Mussolini be lost. If he was going to go down, he might as well go down in flames. And so, the overloaded plane trundled down the makeshift runway and managed to get into the air. There was a hairy moment when the plane appeared to plunge into the valley below, but the pilot managed to get the nose up and the plane flew off towards Rome while the rest of Mussolini's relieved rescuers prepared to make their way back to friendly territory on foot. Operation Each had been a spectacular success, with not a shot being fired. Otto Skorzenny took the credit for the victory personally and made a grand media stunt out of the mission. British Prime Minister Winston S. Churchill called the operation as the most daring mission of the war.